Welcome to Keeping It Current, your quick source of information on what is happening at Potatoes USA and in the U.S. potato industry. Let's dive right into this week's episode.
I'm John Lundeen.
And I'm Alyssa Green.
Today, we want to talk about PRAC, the Potato Research Advisory Committee, a group made up of potato growers and state managers from the various state agencies and commissions. PRAC works to identify potato-related research issues and to support research projects that target these identified issues. PRAC has helped potato researchers to win Specialty Crop Research Initiative grants, or SCRI grants as we call them, that have resulted in research on solutions to issues facing the potato industry. To summarize PRAC's objectives, the driving force behind PRAC is to endorse projects that target one of 5 industry priorities set by the members of PRAC in order to target some of the most prominent industry-facing issues. These are called PRAC pillars. Projects that receive endorsements from PRAC have consistently won funding as opposed to other years that were more sporadic pre-PRAC. PRAC endorsements have resulted in more funding for the industry, specifically towards the most relevant industry issues. PRAC and the Potatoes USA Research Department staff continue to innovate. The science teams on current SCRI projects and the Potatoes USA research staff stay in constant communication, leading to ideas on new ways to communicate results to growers. The research staff pulls in leading-edge speakers to PRAC meetings on subjects that may shape future discussions. For projects that are not in national scope and seek smaller funding dollars, we now have a rapid response communication process, allowing us to poll grower and state managers on the PRAC committee from all 4 time zones for a quicker decision on whether a support letter is warranted. The enthusiasm of our science teams has remained high over the last year. SCRI proposals and proposals for alternate funding sources made their way to PRAC for 2021, and PRAC was able to identify a few projects to support. PRAC is working to provide letters of support as well as providing support for science teams who wish to submit the following year. In order to understand the level of collaboration within PRAC that's required to support a project, it's important to understand how PRAC membership is built. As I mentioned before, PRAC is made up of potato growers and state managers. How they become a part of PRAC is quite interesting. The National Potato Council, also known as NPC, nominates growers from all 4 U.S. time zones that serve on their Grower Outreach and Industry Research Committee. Potatoes USA nominates growers that serve on its research committee. A representative of state managers from each of the 4 time zones is nominated to serve for 4 years. Similar to identifying projects that target the research pillars, this is one of the cornerstones of PRAC. Full industry representation rather than fighting issues regionally. Travel restrictions and changing work environments altered the communication channels between members and deadlines for grants. This means that the projects that the scientists are working on required additional effort, coordination, and flexibility. Alyssa, why don't you tell us about these projects PRAC chose to support?
Thank you, John. We are excited to share that there are a few projects PRAC has identified as valuable to apply for SCRI funding. At this stage, the research project members who have been approved by PRAC are working on what is called a pre-proposal, which is essentially the skeleton of a potential project. These pre-proposals include the overview of the project members who are involved, and give insight into the importance of the research project. These pre-proposals will be submitted for SCRI proposals. Members of the PRAC committee take these pre-proposals and use them to craft their letters of support, which become part of the project's SCRI proposal. Letters of support typically include information as to why the project is important and contributes to the industry. For example, a letter of support for a disease management proposal might be from a farmer who sees personal value in eliminating a type of pest from the fields. There are some exciting projects underway, submitting their pre-proposals and letters of support early 2022. Our hope is to see these projects receive SCRI funding and to help enhance the industry as a result. We would like to thank our science teams for their continued effort to bringing research dollars into the industry during trying times. Their efforts demonstrate the creativity of our industry members and dedication of PRAC members. As more grant opportunities continue to reopen, proposals will be ready to be submitted to help win more money to fund more potato research.
Thank you for watching this week's episode of Keeping It Current. If you missed an episode, you can always find the full archive on potatoesusa.com. Until next time, keep your heads high and your thoughts kind. Potatoes, real food, real performance.